Welcome to another edition of Vegas Hockey Hub Shorts here on PRConnectionsRadio.com, the voice of new media. I'm your host, Ian McKelly. Now, the purpose of Vegas Hockey Hub Shorts is to go and talk about the rest of the NHL, go over teams that are not related or not associated to your Vegas Golden Knights, your Henderson Silver Knights, or your UNLV Rebels hockey. And with regular season starting to come to a close, the battle for Connor Bedard is coming to an end as well. We have been seeing for the past couple of months teams purposely tanking to get the number one overall pick. We have seen 4 to 5 teams, and one of the teams is right behind me, try, and I mean really try, to go and get the lowest wins possible to get a higher odds and a better percentage of getting a potential superstar and a potential face of the franchise in Connor Bedard. Now, according to the current lottery odds, the Chicago Blackhawks have the second highest at around 14% chance of getting Connor Bedard. Now, the first team is the Columbus Blue Jackets. They currently have the lowest record in the NHL. Chicago, Anaheim, San Jose, now you have Philadelphia. There's a few teams around the top 5, but for the most part, the top 2 is Connor Bedard out with the Chicago Blackhawks, who are the second highest, and Columbus Blue Jackets, who have the highest. Now, thankfully, the site that gives you the lottery odds for the NHL draft allows you to sim the lottery. And yes, Columbus does get it a good amount of times. However, Chicago having the 14% odds of winning the NHL draft lottery, it allows the Chicago Blackhawks an opportunity to draft a potential superstar in Connor Bedard. Now, will I sit here and say that Connor Bedard would not change the NHL? No, I'm not going to be that naive. I'm going to say exactly what's going on with Connor Bedard. The hype surrounding Connor Bedard, the talent that has been shown and on display in the Western Hockey League for Connor Bedard. This is the first time really since Connor McDavid, first time since Austin Matthews. It's been a couple of years since you've had a pick that is a must-have, guarantee, unanimous number one. And with Connor Bedard, the way I really look at it is I say, if you're the Chicago Blackhawks, you have around a 14% chance of getting the number one overall pick. If you do get the number one overall selection and you do draft Connor Bedard, he will add to the legacy of superstars that have played for the Chicago Blackhawks. If Connor Bedard goes number one, he will add to all of the franchise superstars, all of the Hall of Fame talent that has worn that sweater right behind me, and that's the Chicago Blackhawks. I mean, if you really think about it, it would be a passing of the guard. It would be passing the torch in Chicago. You had Patrick Kane, you have Jonathan Toews, but they're on the back end. They're towards the end of their career. Well, what more perfect way to enter a new era for the Chicago Blackhawks than getting the number one overall pick and getting the most hyped prospect since Connor McDavid, getting the most hyped prospect since Austin Matthews. I mean, he would really be a guy that could change the Chicago Blackhawks for the better. No doubt he'd be a day one starter in Chicago playing at the United Center next year if he was taken number one. Now, I'm going to pass it on to you, and I want to know from everyone watching around the world, do you see the Chicago Blackhawks, a big market like Chicago, getting the number one overall pick, 14% odds according to this website here, and them getting a generational talent, a guy who can change their franchise around and have a generational superstar like Toews and like Kane was a decade before? So this was another edition of Vegas Hockey Hub Shorts. I'm your host, Ian McKelly. We're here on PRConnectionsRadio.com, the voice of new media. We have a bunch of fantastic content here on the network. We also have Vegas Hockey Hub, the normal shows, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. So until next time, I'm your host, Ian McKelly, and go Knights go.